Yeah, g'day listeners. Welcome to Bar Karate, the Sailing Podcast. Another week of sailing done, another week of sailing to talk about. Actually, we've probably got about 2 weeks worth of sailing to talk about. There's so much been going on. My name is Jordan Spencer, and joining me is my good mate, Mr. Brett Perry.
Greetings, Exalted One.
G'day listeners, Bar Karatians, how are you all? I just have to say that during the week I've sort of been thinking about apologising for possibly overlaying the mark last week. But then as I thought about it a little bit more, I thought, you know what, it's a celebration of yachting. Last weekend in Port Lincoln was a magnificent celebration of what we do, and that's what I've come up with. So, yep, no apologies from my behalf.
No apologies. Did you listen back? What you're like? Let's bring in the other boy and we could talk about it. What have we got?
He had a voice that could make a wolverine purr.
Mr. Nick Bice.
Top of the day, men. Top of the day. Now, straight away, instead of an apology for last week, I'm making an excuse. I was actually talking to the internet providers over in Port Lincoln, and they had a glitch in their system, especially for voice over IP setups last week.
Right.
And it kind of gave a bit of a slurred, mumbly type sound when you were talking. But they seem to have fixed things now. So all clear, ready to roll.
Okay. Good news. And here I thought it was you blokes. Here I thought it was you blokes out having a good time celebrating your yacht race. But there you go.
Tell you, yacht racing, I'll just say one thing though, and we're going to talk about it later, but, geez, I forgot how hard it is on the body. Tough going.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm feeling a bit out of shape myself, and so it's time to get back in shape. I think we should put a program in, Bryce, and start really getting back into the gun shape.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Maybe we should create a competition. I mean, we're pretty good at going through with these sorts of competitions as well. So
Setting up programs.
we make all these statements and then do nothing. I know. We're quite clever that way.
It's because we're sitting around in a bar talking about it, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of talking about it, let's get on to it. We're going to try something a little bit different this week. Rather than having a special guest, we had so many events going on that we've decided to go and try and get little 5-minute sound bites from each event. And so we're going to try and do that process. So we've got a lot to talk about: the Laser World, Sail GP, Adelaide Lincoln, Australian Sportsboats, the Match Racing Youth Worlds, Carribean 600, Warrell 1000. It's endless. So we've got quite a bit we wanted to run through. So let's just roll straight into it. Let's hit the little magic button and go straight onto our discussion points. So you boys, when we spoke last week, were suffering the voice over internet protocol things that made it sound like you'd had a few drinks, and had just finished the Adelaide Lincoln yacht race, and then now you've had a glamour week sailing the Lincoln Regatta, and you both have done a fantastic job. But before we go on to Lincoln Week, I hear there's a little bit of a story from the actual race.
Yes.
Yeah. What's going on there?
Which came up basically as we're setting everything up tonight and things are getting updated, blah, blah, blah. But picture this. We're sailing there's a gap between Donington Rock and Donington Point, a couple miles out from Lincoln. It's probably about 4 boat lengths wide. We're a couple hundred metres away from it. Update on the nav software. A few and it's pitch black, one of the blackest nights.
It was black.
So
it was black.
Throw it into it, roll it into a jibe. Navigator ends up on his back so we could go the safe way round. And it was a panic. I had to look under the boom, and literally that rock was 3 boat lengths away. Oh. So it was close. And, of course, we all blame it on Kempy the navigator. You know, didn't charge his bloody tablet, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, a bit of bar talk. We hear 3 or 4 or 5 other boats experienced exactly the same at the same time, including our good mates on Aiken, Caelan Howard and David Oliver, just a couple of boat lengths off Northeast Rock. So at the most inappropriate times for 2 of the locals. So, That was seriously the negative of a ball tightener.
Can you imagine? You'd never even consider that software is going to do an update during the middle of a race. Like, you'd never even have thought of that. But
yeah, I don't know the exact ins and outs on, whether it was an automatic update that had been preloaded or whatever it was. But put it, 4 or 5 boats had the same problem at the same time, which was very interesting. A couple of seconds either way could have been a complete different story. And we could have looked like absolute idiots.
It's just crazy.
But we managed to do that.
It's crazy. I don't even know how you guys, like, that would have freaked everyone out on the board, I'm sure. So, yeah. All right, well, let's talk about race week. You guys both have had a blinder. So, Bossy, you were on Secret Men's in Division 1 and missed out on the win by half a point. And BP, you were in Division 2 on the old Victoire and had the win. Congratulations, mate.
Yeah, stoked. I mean, going over there this year was exciting from quite a few standpoints. One, that there was so many interstate boats, and as I said last week, was very proud to be a South Australian. But on a New South Wales boat this year, we went over there and we found ourselves competing with a very tough group in the Division 2. We're only 40 feet long, and managed to get away with a win. So we're stoked.
Yeah, it's a little. Was that a car keek 40 you were on?
Yeah, it's a car keek 40. It's basically one of the early fast 40 genre, and really enjoyed that flat water inside the Boston Bay there. It was just, it was on fire. In saying that, and I said it last week, and I think it comes up a bit later on, it was not a done and dusted event for us. There was a couple of boats that were really knocking at the door the whole time. And so it was not like just because we were a Grand Prix boat. I mean, all the boats in that fleet, there was probably 3 or 4 that had an opportunity. So it was great.
Cool. Now, you've got a couple of bits of audio from your team. Do you want to just tell us who we're hearing from first?
So we managed to catch up with, I started with him, but we caught up with Daryl Hodgkinson, the owner, and had a chat to him, and obviously Short Kirkjan, the tactician, and got a few of their words. So that
right. Okay. Well, we've got a little bit of audio, so I'll just punch that up for us. So first off, we're listening to Daryl Hodgkinson, so the owner of Victoire.
Thanks, Boise. Thanks, Jordan. I'm here with Daryl Hodgkinson, who has just taken out Division 2 on his car kick 40, fast 40 Victoire. A very happy man, very happy crew. I was lucky enough to sail with them all week, so Daryl, well done.
Well, thanks, Brett. It was great having you on board. Not sure what you did, but you managed to deliver the boat here very nicely. Thank you very much. It's a big job to bring a boat from Sydney down here. We had to truck it down, had to be rebuilt. But the guys did a great job racing it over here in the Lincoln race, Adelaide to Lincoln. And then we just completed 4 days of racing, 6 races. I think we took 4 firsts. And Phil just had a great week. This is a special place. We've sailed here twice and won our division twice. So got fond memories of Port Lincoln, the great company, the great crew, the good boat, and of course the great seafood down here. So my suggestion, if any sailor hasn't done Port Lincoln, that's put that on your agenda. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah, really cool words. It's true what he says. This year has had the biggest interstate fleet ever recorded, with obviously records tumbling in the race over, but also staying for the week. Basically the TB52s in Division 1 sort of sailed in their own division, and being a 40-footer, which seems to be the way to go forward, racing in Division 2, still a massive honour, and it must be really exciting to take it out.
Yeah, it is. It's great because this is the 70th Lincoln race week, so that makes it a little bit special too. So thanks, Brett, for your involvement, and I hope people enjoy the podcast and come and enjoy the hospitality and the great sailing here in Port Lincoln.
Good on you, Daryl. Thanks a lot, mate, and well done, and it was great sailing with you. Cheers.
Oh, that's cool. We might actually, go on, BP. I can see you about to say something. Go on, mate.
I love his comment. Thanks for
Not
coming.
sure what you did. So influential. You're obviously sitting behind him.
Yeah, sitting behind him, whispering sweet nothing in his ears, But no, look, he's a great man, and he loves his yachting, he loves his little boat, and he loves the Lincoln, and that's what it's all about. And if that's what I can help out with by doing nothing, then I'm happy with that.
Hasn't he got it up for sale?
Well, every boat's for sale.
Oh, okay.
You know that.
Yep. Copy. All right. Well, let's listen to what young Sean's got to say. Hang on and see what he said.
So, just after speaking with Daryl Hodgkinson, I'm now with the tactician on Victoire, Sean Kirkjan. Having personally never sailed with Sean before, it was a real privilege to do so. Some magnificent tactical decisions. But, Sean, how do you feel, mate?
Well, Lincoln's always an exciting place to come to. We've been here half a dozen times, a couple of times with Daryl now. It's dry, great sailing weather, flat water. I don't understand why people don't come here more often.
Yeah, right. So the boat is obviously fast 40, racing in Division 2, but it slots in well. It was a challenge, though. It wasn't just win-win-win. It was there was some interesting moments where we could have gone either way, right?
Well, when you got a boat like this, if you go the wrong way, you go the wrong way twice as fast. So trying to get back is always very difficult.
I love that comment. Yeah, so I didn't think of it that way. But, the Beneteau Flying Cloud and also Scarlet Runner, the J111, really, they gave it everything, and they were there knocking on the door this morning.
Well, it was very close. The last race came down to a 1 second difference. Can't ask for more than that, can you?
Yeah, mate. Good on you, mate. Well done again, and hope to sail with you soon, and hope that Daryl and the team are happy.
Yeah, I'm sure they are, and we'll do it again.
Cheers, mate.
Right. Okay. So everyone's happy on board your boat. Was worth the effort.
Everyone's stoked, and so now we've got the boat back here in Adelaide, ready to get it back to Sydney. So all good.
Yeah, very cool. Now, of course, Bicey, you were sailing in Div 1, so in Secret Men's, and against Ichiban, which is Matt Allen's boat. It's been sort of the dominant boat in the Australian scene. And you guys came within half a point of knocking them off. So obviously a good regatta. You guys, it was between the two of you. You cleared out from the rest of the fleet, which is cool. Is there much to talk about from the racing from your perspective?
I mean, obviously great to be nipping at Matt's hills like that, of which the Ichiban's been the dominant boat of the season Australia-wide. Jeff Betcher did quite a few mods on his boat this year, and it really upped the game. And compared to last year, it was a huge difference. So the mods were good. If anyone wants to talk about those mods, I know exactly what they were. So you can come my way, and there will only be a small invoice, I promise you. So we essentially, in a nutshell, we just needed a big last day. We took out the first race of the last day, and we were in the box seat. Got halfway up the work of the last race, or at the start, because Ichiban was over, but we failed to cover him. Oh. So our mistake, and it was a big shifty day. I mean, there were big shifts out there, and we were a little bit locked out, but no excuses. But half a point. Now, tell me this: we got that half a point by being on equal corrected time in the first race of the regatta to get that half a point. You hear of that often or not? When we first had it, I was like, does that even exist?
Yeah, well, there's no way to spell it.
But basically we got equal second, so we both got 2.5 points. So we must have both been third.
Yeah.
So it was, shocker. Anyway, no dramas. I didn't happen to get Jeff Betcher on an interview because he'd be way too inappropriate for our very professional show. And I was trying to get Matt, but he was running out straight off the boat in the last race, heading back to Sydney for Sail GP, and I believe some pretty serious AOC discussions about some other subjects we'll talk about later.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, listen, guys, while we're on the Lincoln Week, I think a special mention goes out to the guys on Another Hooligan. I was very impressed with how they sailed Bicey. How do you feel about that?
Absolutely. You got new boat to the team, and Nick George actually not having steered a boat with a tiller before as well. And they're pretty flighty boats, and that is one of the flightiest. They took out PHS, as a matter of fact, on a countback between two other boats. So 3 were on equal points at the end of the regatta. So shout out to them, but also a big shout out to all the other category winners. Went down to 4 divisions, AMS, PHS, IRC were good for the first 2 divisions, but and we always refer to it, and we kind of do it a bit what the Sydney Hobart does, concentrate on the bigger end of the fleet, but fantastic turnout, everyone. Congratulations, all involved.
Right, so in the PHS then, you had your chance to talk to Matt Allen. You could have got Betch, you could have got Kempy, you could have got a whole bunch of blokes, but you decided to go with Jade Cole. Why did we pick
Correct.
Jade Cole?
Well, her name has come up in the podcast in previous times, having joined the ranks of Barney Walker for the Australian Olympic bid for 2024, double-handed offshore. She came fresh off a Division 3 win from not only the last race, but the regatta. On her boat doesn't matter. And I thought she'd be great to get on board and also hear how the progress is going for the Olympics.
All right, well, let's have a listen to what Jade had to say, mate.
All right, Jade Cole, fresh off a Division 3 win today for It Doesn't Matter. Did you have a good regatta?
Yeah, we had a great regatta. It's awesome to be back. We were here last year and we had a win last year, so to come back and defend the title and finish with 2 wins today, absolutely stoked.
And what was the highlight of your regatta, just to really put you on the spot?
Mega's barbecue. It's a day that you just cannot ever forget.
I actually saw you doing one hand, one bounce, bit of beach cricket, and you're pretty handy.
Yeah, I did jag one there. That was awesome. I'm glad you saw that. But it's always a good day up there. The beach cricket's a glamour. It's a definite must-do. And we didn't see too many commit to the dive in the water though. So that's one that can be improved on. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, so Lincoln Week's done for another year. You'll be back next year.
Yeah, I hope so. So It Doesn't Matter's owned by my dad, and he steers the boat, which is most of the time, which is pretty awesome to sail with my dad. So yeah, do my best to convince him to send her back here and sail with him again. It's something special. We create memories that we'll have forever, sailing together and racing together, and hopefully he'll be keen for another year.
No, cool. And we want you to promote as much as you can to other Melbourne boats to come on over. But what's next now for Jade Cole? Is it now all about 2024?
Yeah. So got a couple of one design things I'm doing. J70 Nationals in Blairgowrie in April. Far 40 Nationals up in Sydney. And I'm also doing the 540 Worlds again, which is in Sydney this year, which is awesome. So keeping really in touch with my one design. But yeah, Barney and I we are sailing now. We are sailing on my boat and some borrowed boats. But we have ordered a boat. The boat arrives in the middle of the year. So as soon as our boat arrives, we're pretty focused on sailing that week in, week out.
And what's that mean from a regatta point of view? Do you go to Middle Sea race this year? Is it this year, the Middle Sea?
Yeah, so the two-handed offshore world championship will form part of the Middle Sea race. They'll run that in conjunction. It probably won't be the same course. And the Australia has entered or advised their intention to enter, and Australia will pick one team to send over for that. So at this stage we don't know what team that'll be, and that event's in October in Malta. So we'll just wait and see on that, but of course we've put our hand up to say we'd love to do it. But in the meantime we'll just continue on focusing for the Hobart. So for us, we'll be taking our two-handed boat which is our brand new Jeanneau 3300, to Hobart at Christmas time. So plenty of work to get there.
So for Middle Sea Race, who's your competition within Australia? Lonesy and Adrian.
Yeah.
Who else has actually put their hand up?
Well, everyone's being a little bit mum now, so I'm not really sure, but I really hope to see Stacey put her hand up there and have asked Stace, but haven't got much back. Did run it by James Patterson, the other day, and he seems reasonably interested. So I think there's going to be actually a lot of people, a lot of really good Australian offshore sailors come out and go for this, but I think they're just holding back a little bit for now, so we'll wait and see.
No, it's an exciting time. I've heard a few rumours of some other people putting their hand up, but currently at the moment, the combined age, you still have the youngest age to the ones that have announced between yourself and Barney.
Awesome.
Not far off, but you're currently winning that. As you know, on Barkarati, we take the piss out of the over 50s club, but you're bringing the average down quite a bit.
Yeah.
And what have you heard about any of the other countries and who they're putting in?
Yeah, so I was fortunate enough to sail with Stacey and the Wild Oats 10 team to Hobart last year, year before. And one of the girls on board, Katie Pettigrove, has indicated that she's quite keen on putting a campaign together. So we have been somewhat in contact as well. Also, Sarah, who was with the Team SCA and the girls there, she is 100% putting a campaign together.
Yep.
And of course, Hannah Diamond in the GBR and Henry Bombi, they competed in the last Fastnet in the same boat that we've ordered, the Jeanneau 3300. They did really well. So I have been in touch with Hannah briefly just to try and refine some of our sail order for Hobart. So.
Cool. Yeah. Well, we wish you a ton of luck.
Awesome.
From Barkarati. We'll be keeping an eye on it. We want to hear the best Barney stories ever, so we'll be sure to be in touch.
Do you know what I love, though? I love the Barney stories that I'm hearing now. So, yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's it all sort of came about because Barney and I have done a little bit of ocean racing together. We've done quite a lot, actually. We've done 3 Hobarts together and some other short races, including one of these, Lincoln. And now that we've sort of announced and gone public with the fact that we're sailing together, I've had a lot of people come to me and say, let me tell you a story about Barney. All good things. So I'm super excited to learn from the barn and just,
Well, he's definitely one of the best. And as Squark and I said during the episode just before Christmas, the best we want to see is Barney in his Australian outfit, his Australian tracksuit, smoking a burner, coming out to the on the opening ceremony for the Olympics.
Yeah, classic. But I tell you, if you do have shares in Benson and Hedges, you probably want to start looking at moving on from them because the barn is actually taking his foot off the pedal there. He's looking really fit and, really focused. So.
Well, bravo. He's one of the best. We wish you the best of luck.
Thanks
very much.
Awesome.
Good interview, mate. That she was just nervous the whole time waiting for the jokes.
Well, I had to sneak that one in about Barney. But I must say I've been lucky enough to sail with Barney before. So whilst we take the piss every now and then, I wouldn't be surprised if they get the gong.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're probably the front runners from Australia at the moment. So I was interested that your brother-in-law's name came up there. Didn't know James.
Yeah, that actually was generated. We had a cocktail evening on the Monday night out at Peter Teakle's winery at Line and Label. And Matt Allen and James were being interviewed basically about the Sydney Hobart that they won on Itchy Bun. And bloody hell, you couldn't get the microphone off Jade. She was just hammering.
Frank the Tank.
Next thing you know, Paddo's doing the Olympics. I haven't told my sister yet.
Yeah, I bet he hasn't told her.
So we have to have a little think. We have to have a little think about our idea of bringing in the Barney doll. What are we going to do if he's given up smoking?
The mascot.
Yeah.
You can't push the press here button and a puff of smoke come out. What are we going to
do? Interesting with the offshore one. So she obviously, Jade mentioned a few, and we've spoken to Hannah Diamond and talked about that campaign. I actually had dinner. I was in Lorient on Monday, and I had dinner with Sarah Hastrader, who Jade referred to then, on Monday night, and she 100% is fully backed all the way to the Olympics. So she's got a full proper campaign with money all the way. So she's definitely doing it, and she's really putting in the effort. So that'll be interesting because I don't know who else in the States has put their hands up.
Not entirely sure, but one thing I will say, the amount of interest when Matt was actually talking about it, and all the different elements that we've also spoken about on this show, like the media, it has a start and a finish, you go straight to the podium, et cetera, it certainly raised some eyebrows from an excitement point of view from all the Oddies in the room.
Yeah, cool.
It's going to be extremely successful.
Yeah, cool. I think so. All right, BP, Australian Sportsboat Nationals, mate. That was a big thing where we were the sponsor. We gave them some stubby cooler. I have no idea what we actually did, but you sailed. Tell us about the regatta, mate.
I'll tell you what we did.
Yep.
We talked about them. It's a great fleet. It's a great bunch of guys and girls, and we talk about them. That's what we do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, tell us about the regatta. What was it like? Lake Macquarie?
Well, it was raced up in Lake Macquarie, up in the Royal Motor Yacht Club up in Toronto. Never sailed there before.
Yep. Yeah, I know it well.
Shifty little place.
Yeah.
My God.
Yep.
My God. Anyway, went up there and gave it a good hard crack, had a laugh, and enjoyed the sailing. That's basically where it's at.
Okay.
Didn't get a win, but hey.
Oh. I was just so going to ask, how'd you go?
Well, as I mentioned previously, the boat, my ex, she doesn't rate. She's a bit on the heavy side because it wasn't built to the rule or anything like that. But these little boats that are built to the rule, they're weapons. You know, the Shore 650s and the new Rio 7.7s and those boats, they just tack on, just there's a shift gap, bang, they just nail it. But look, in saying that, it's a great class, and that's I love seeing development classes like this, move forward, and that's what we're doing it for.
All right. It was light winds. We forecast light winds going into the regatta. Was it light winds?
Day one was a lovely breeze. Day one was sort of like about 15 to 16 knots or so, thereabouts, and that's where we were holding our own. We did okay, and we were able to sort of downwind in particular with the boat was great. The rest of the week it got lighter and lighter and lighter. And that's, it's so shifty in that place for those who've ever sailed there up in the lake. And that's why these sailors that come from the lake are so good. They just get used to it, and it's just normal for them.
Yeah. All right. Well, you did a couple of little interviews with some of the sailors. So first up, we've got the second place finisher, which was Luke Ratcliffe, and he's the man that sort of did a lot of the organising, as far as I understand, to get the regatta on. So he's put a huge effort in. He was sailing on the REO 7.2, which I'm pretty sure, I'm guessing, is that right? He was on the 7.2?
He was on the 7.2. Now that's Andrew York's first boat. And now Andrew York has moved on to do the 7.7s, but the 7.2 was his first boat, yeah.
So that, for those who don't know, the REO 7.2, what BP's saying, Yorkie he was sailing VX1s. He went to the designer of the VX1s, Brian Bennett, and they designed this longer version, and they ended up coming second on that. So let's just have a listen to see what Luke said.
Yeah, righto. So continuing on with the chat about the Australian sports boats, I'm here with Luke Ratcliffe, who is the owner of the REO 7.2,
yes,
which is the original design of the REO Speedwagon type of boat, which is around. And they are currently battling out for second or third tomorrow. So Malcolm Dean on the Stig, which is a Shore 650, has won it outright, and he's decided that he's just going to go and play golf tomorrow. But these two guys are going to be battling out for second and third. So, Luke, I guess it's been a solid week. It's been a good, fun week of sailing, other than the day we had off. But the rest of the time, it's been quite good sailing. So tomorrow, big day.
It is, thank you. And congratulations to Malcolm. He's not taking the glory yet, but he can pretty much say that he's won 2 Australian Sportsboat regattas in a row, which is fantastic. And I think it puts a little bit of pressure on him now, because he's got to try and make it a hat trick. So.
I spoke to him earlier about it, and he actually told me, because it's a perpetual trophy, right? He said to me that he was going to be a bit of an antagonist and put the badge on last year with the 2020 Australian Sportsboat title already on it, just as a laugh.
Yeah. Look, Malcolm Dean's a cheeky sort of bugger. I'd hate to be married to him. He's got that little glint in his eye whenever you talk to him. He likes to see you fall, but then in a competitive way, if you know what I mean. Like he's happy to help you out off the water, but on the water, he was cheering when we hit the rocks today.
You did what?
We were trying to just improve our performance by taking a little bit of lead off the keel.
Well, that's what we need to do, being the best part of 500 kilos heavier than the sports boat. Not really a sports boat, the old ex.
Yeah.
My ex, she's proven to be a bit of a buffoon.
Yeah. Well, I think we're in the competitive weight range. You are in the heavyweight range. I think you'll probably need to take about 400 kilos off.
Well, to be fair, we didn't actually design the boat for this particular rule, but we had a great time, and we loved sailing the boat. We're learning a lot about the boat, but more to the point, the week itself is still tightly contested. There's a bunch of cool boats here. The future of the sports boats in Australia, what do you reckon?
Well, probably need to go back to your weight issue, actually.
Thank you.
I think the older you get, you loosen the belt off a little bit, and I think it's all about losing weight, No.
Righto, so you're telling me that I should lose weight, or I should stay with my boat and the rule should come to my weight?
There you go. Well, I think the older you get, we probably should loosen the belt a little bit and allow the Sportsboat measurement system to consider the weight of the boats in that measurement system. Currently, you weigh a lot heavier than other boats the same size and sail area, and you're not you don't get an advantage for being heavier. So maybe that's something the Sportsboat measurement system can look at. But at this stage, the sports boats are looking very good. The boats are spending money on sales, and we're trying to get faster. Malcolm's brought energy into the class that we didn't have before, and it's making everyone get a little bit sharper with their sailing and with their boat preparation. So,
all right, well, I'll let you on a little secret. Now, this is over and above the Secret Pro. This is a little secret from a little in-house group of people. There is a possibility there could be a new sports boat being designed and built as we speak.
Okay, well, your secret is very much a secret, because so is this sports boat? Is this where you get a piece of paper and you pinch one in?
Mate, looking at these boats, that's what they are. They're a piece of paper pinched at the end, and that's how it is.
Yeah. So at the moment, if you've got too much weight on the end of that piece of paper, does it just sink? Is that how it works?
No, we're going a bit further than that. We've got one of those computer things.
Right. Well, we're actually a little bit ahead of you today, because we've just decided to shave a little bit off of the keel. So we're working on ours.
Yeah, righto. Okay. Well, hang on. So I've just got to introduce the crew. So now, names, I'm completely useless.
No, that's okay. This is
Tyler,
William,
and
Paul,
Paul, and
we've got a coach over here.
Well, the coach has actually been secretly stealing our boat every day. Our coach boat.
Jeff Williams is with us, and we used to sail 18s together, and Jeff was our skipper back in the early 90s, late 80s, and so we're calling in our coach now, and he's helping improve
our getting to regattas and telling us we're doing a great job. He's our sort of build-up coach.
Yeah, righto. Okay, well, guys, good luck tomorrow. And look, we'll be out there having a laugh, and hopefully, well, it depends on what happens. Obviously, it's a passage race tomorrow, which I have no idea where to go. So I'm sure you blokes have sorted, and if you can get to second, get to second. Otherwise, still third. It's a good result, I suppose.
And thanks for coming along and bringing your boat along too. It's been awesome to see that.
And the stubby holders.
And awesome to see the that technology with the rigid wing. I can't remember whether it's solid or semi. I can't remember.
Semi, mate.
Semi-rigid wing. It was fantastic to see the boat really light up on that kite run. There was a particular moment in that regatta where you guys just absolutely smoked it, and we were pretty impressed when we looked at it.
It does work. We're working on it, but you know, like I said, get this rig on a 400 kilo boat. The thing will be an absolute weapon.
All you need to do is lose a bit of weight and tighten your belt up a bit. You'll be fine.
Yeah, righto. Okay, I'm done. I'm over this conversation. Good luck tomorrow, and I'll speak to you later. Cheers.
Cheers. Bring it on. Cheers.
Thank you.
As I said, a fun bunch of lads. Just to confirm, he went on to get second in the regatta. This was obviously recorded the night before the last race. So, yep, and congratulations to him and a good bunch of lads.
Right.
Hey, fellas, I'm picking up on a bit of a common theme with these interviews.
What's that, mate?
They're all done in a bar.
Yeah.
I guess we wouldn't expect anything less, though, would we?
It was Baccarati, after all.
Exactly. And I must admit, during these regattas, I had seeing everyone doing a bit of bar karate.
Oh,
and
I saw it all week.
Phone out, you go to put the record button on, and they just stop the bar karate. A classic.
Well, I'm going to say
saw it all week.
I'm going to say Luke was a bit cheeky then. We may have to ban him from the show.
Well, I have to say one thing. Luke is actually one of our biggest fans. We've got John Schaefer in the USA, who's got the battle flag, of course, on the old map fray. Luke is a supporter. He loves what we do, and he actually suggested us being sponsor.
We should put it to a vote. All right, who wants Luke back on the show? I.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's a good man.
All right,
classic.
Move forward.
All right. Well, the other thing we also you got a chat with Malcolm Dean, who won the overall regatta. So should we roll in and listen to what he had to say?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool.
Jordan, Bicey, thanks so very much. The Australian Sportsboat titles have been won and run with a day to spare, with Malcolm Dean on the Stig ashore 650, taking it out convincingly, especially with today's effort. So I'm sitting with the crew, and I'm going to try and remember their names. I've got Mal, the skipper, Andrew, Israel, and James. There we go, nailed it. And we're having a drink. And we're going to talk about the regatta and the week, and obviously the sports boat. So, Mal, firstly, well done, mate.
Yeah, thanks for that. We're having a great day here. We've all got a couple of beers on board, as to you, Brett. Yeah, what can you say? We had a great regatta. We didn't really miss much, and we're very happy to finish with a day to spare.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to say, watching you guys just blast around the track, that little boat just lights up in this lighter sort of stuff, and being a bit of a local, does that help?
Doesn't hurt. yeah. In a west nor'wester, I think you just need luck.
Mate, found myself on the wrong side of quite a few shifts today. She was a bit of a shocker for me, but so basically that's 2 wins in a row in terms of Australian titles. The class is a really cool class. It's a fun group of people, and do we see it getting bigger over the next few years? What do we see with this class?
We're hoping to grow the class. We've got some new. We've got a new president and vice president, being myself. And we're just hoping that we can get some more interest. You know, there's a lot of boats out there, and we just need to get them on the water. They're everywhere.
Yeah, true. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, and this is from our point of view as well. I mean, We came here and we've had a great time, and I think that the class does lend itself to lots of different types of boats. And what about the crew? So you've got a pretty ragged-looking bunch, I've got to say.
Yeah, well, they all live on the same street except for James, so they're just from down the road. We've got Andrew, he actually works with me, and Israel, he lives on the same street as well. And James, he's our aeronautical engineer, and he actually does very little. He would work that out.
Yeah, right, okay. Well, who wants to have a chat? Which one of you blokes want to have a chat? Come on, which one? Come on, you're going. It's going to go. James, the aeronautical engineer. Righto. So, James, how was your week, mate? He said he hopes he's an aeronautical engineer. Hey, so how was your week? Enjoy yourself?
Yeah, it's been a great week. I just came along for the ride, really. I know Mal for a few years and sailed with him on and off. And, yeah, it's been fun. The other two guys have worked really hard, and I've enjoyed watching them.
Yeah, good one. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do is we'll leave it at this. And
What about your beer? What are we going to
Hang on a sec. I've got to get him to talk into the microphone. He's asking me a question.
What about your beer? What are we going to do? We really need to work hard on the Bar Karate beer.
Bar Karate Lager. Bicey, Malcolm Dean, the president of the Australian Sportsboats Association, is asking about the Bar Karate Lager. So what we're going to do is maybe we could affiliate our lager with this class. Would that work for us?
Absolutely, and I'm up for tasting. Absolutely up for tasting.
Well, maybe we could invite you on our tour.
Absolutely.
That'll be an Australian tour of breweries to choose the actual specific beer.
And it needs to be fast drinking beer, doesn't it? It needs to go down fast.
Kind of like light on the fizz.
Light on the fizz. Yeah. Slam it down fast.
Warm and flat. Not warm and flat. No. Hey guys, congratulations on your win, and I guess it's a great class. It's a great regatta. It was a fun week, and we're looking forward to doing some more sailing with you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming, Brett. Yeah, thanks very much.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, Abe. Cheers. Beautiful.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, sounded like you had a shit-house time there, mate.
Shit house. I'll tell you what happened that night, and before I get into asking you the question or getting you to respond to Malcolm, we get up in there and they did the Wheel of Fortune, which is the nightly giveaway prizes, and we get up in there, and I said to my crew, I said, we haven't won one yet. We've got to win tonight, surely. So they spin the wheel, this little young 3-year-old, one of the daughters of the people there, and next thing you know, K8 comes up. Oh yeah, we won a $50 beer drink voucher for the bar. For the bar. Oh, that's fantastic! And they said, "Oh, now we're going to do draw number 2." I mean, oh, that's great. We've got $50. We can spend it amongst ourselves. We can get a couple of jugs of beer, and we can have a good time. K8 wins again, so we won $100 worth of beer for the bar. So anyway, Malcolm at that stage comes over to me and says, "I just heard you won $100." He says, "Yeah." He says, "I've got $100 too." All right, so what we're going to do is put the $200 on the bar and drink, and everyone can drink. And we just put $200 on the bar, and everyone, they loved it. The entire bar had a beer. I forgot
Magnanimous.
to get one for myself though.
You missed out. Actually, that little shore 650, they're a cool looking little boat. So they look like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, sailed very well. I mean, Malcolm sailed the boat extremely well. And to say that, Luke Radcliffe on his older REO version sailed the boat extremely well too. Oh, that's what it's about. So it was a great regatta, great bunch of lads.
Well, congratulations.
Hey, I've got a question.
Yeah.
Jordan, I know we've spoken about it.
Right.
Do you go sailing on the last day if you've won it?
Absolutely not.
They did not sail.
But as a
coach, you've got to say you do not sail.
No, I totally agree, because you could just put yourself in the wrong spot, the wrong time, and could just go totally bad, and you could lose the regatta.
Well, okay, so Bicey, just want to quickly get you to answer Malcolm Dean's question, if you don't mind.
Well, as a matter of fact, I can give you a direct answer, and this is recorded Sunday night. I have a meeting at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow morning in the great city of Adelaide to discuss this specifically and our next steps. So stay tuned.
There you go. Can't wait for that. We need to push that forward.
There you go, Malcolm Dean. If you're listening, well, you will be listening because I'll tell you to be listening. There's the answer.
Yep. I just want to clarify on the not sailing on the last day. Basically, in the rules, if you can pick, there are disqualifications you can pick up, which mean that you have to carry on your scorecard. So why take that risk? That's just you don't want to do it. Speaking of things we don't want to miss, Sail GP Sydney. I missed it completely, but I have heard a rumour. So I was on a plane. How's this? I got to Dubai. And I've gone, I had no live TV on the flight out of London. I've got to Dubai and I've just gone, I wonder if Sail GP's on live. And I've looked on the screens in the lounge, and sure enough, Sail GP's on it. And I've got to run to the plane. I run to the plane. I missed, it was the last race of day one. And as I got to the plane, I turned the TV on and they're doing the sum up of the day. And I've just gone, crap, I missed it all. But anyway, so I saw nothing.
That's cool though on Ice Live.
Yeah. It was there. So, what do we think? What did you guys catch it?
I saw a bit of it.
Caught enough, I guess, to give the general feeling. I was travelling on Friday back from Lincoln, but wow, I don't know whether I'm surprised or not. To tell you the honest truth. Ben is obviously a phenomenal sailor, and to actually take it out, his first regatta is something which is unbelievable.
Well, in the Bar Karate World Sailing leaderboard, we had Slingsby at the top. Ben Ainsley has slung himself way up the top right now. There's a big challenge on for number one in the Bar Karate leaderboard.
Let's not discount the fact that Goobs and Parko transferred across from Nath's boat. So they had two blokes there that had done a whole season on the boat and sailed them fast. So they knew exactly how to go. So that was definitely part of it. I think most people respect that Goobs is a bit of a superstar sailor in his own right. You know, it's not just Nath. And they were together as a pairing. And so I think, especially when you think Ben could pick whoever he wants on his team and he's picked Goobs and Parko. So I think, and the money and if I was the owner of America's Cup team right now, I'd be a little bit nervous the way they just jumped onto that boat and just smoked it and made no mistakes. Like I couldn't believe, I saw a highlight of the match racing final. And like, would they have some software issue or something? But like, you can still see the line. You can still pull go. I don't know. I don't know enough. I will say I tried.
0.2 of a second.
Was it?
They entered early. Yeah. So Australia entered early. 0.2 of a second.
Wow, that sucks. That sucks. Yeah. I must admit, I did try hard to get a soundbite from the Sail GP guys, and they all had to clear it. Before they
what did they listen to us last week?
Not getting involved with those blokes.
Yeah. So they had to go and clear before they could talk to us.
They're real sailors,
and
not professionals like us.
They couldn't get the clearance done in time, so we may still get them on, but I couldn't get a clearance for that done in time. But anyway, interesting. So the cat is amongst the pigeons. That's basically where we're at, and we're all pretty pumped up.
Yep, love that word. That's the way to say it. They all a bit sort of tentative, and we also were tentative when Ben said he was going to come in. But yeah, he really nailed it, didn't he? This weekend, he showed him.
Absolutely. Oh.
Yep. God save the Queen.
God save the Queen. You idiot.
UK.
You idiot. All right, so. Well, gentlemen, World Championships have been decided, and we've got a couple to mention. So the Youth World Match Racing Champs have just been decided as we're going to air. All the hottest young match racers in the world in Auckland right now. And, well, it's been a big win. So I've got to say, I'm a little bit chuffed. James Hodgson and his team have had a win. So just a tiny bit chuffed at my end of the world here.
Well, as you should be, basically guiding him on this path for many years, and actually saying to him, when was it, a few years ago, that you'll be world champion one day, and he's won it twice. Yep. Well, he's now twice world champion. So congratulations to the super coach, James. Just stick with Jordan for a bit longer. You might get a few more under your belt, old mate.
So just point out that James is being coached by someone else at the moment because he lives down in Sydney, another Jordan, but so he's done all the good work with him. But Harry Hall, Louis Schofield and Nick Rosinus from Cruising Yacht Club of Australia won the Harkin Youth Match Racing World Champs. They won the lead-up event as well. Had a shocking first day and then went on and couldn't be beaten in the next day and then, charged through. I will say, what a great place to have the World Match Racing Champs for the youth, right where the America's Cup's going to be. I wonder how many America's Cups teams are watching this event just to think, okay, do I pull someone out of this? You know, who do you pull? Go on. What are you going to say?
Oh, look, I was just going to say we touched on this a couple of weeks ago with the Hardy's Cup and the Warren Jones. The level of talent that is coming through now, especially with the focus on match racing, is super high. And, I think they would have been looking. Absolutely. Yep. Why not?
Well, I had a few words to James, funnily enough. First thing I did, rang him on the phone. He said, I'm about 5 minutes away from presentation, and then after that, I will not be in a state to be discussing anything. So I got a quick record with him. Let's have a listen to what he said. James Hodgson, new world champion, or backing up as world champion in the Youth World Match Racing Championships, mate. I cannot be more stoked. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you so much, Jordan. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Obviously super stoked to go back to back.
Yeah.
And get the job done, steering instead of doing main.
Yeah. Mate, you had a great lead up into the regatta. I know you won the Harkin International Regatta the week before, got a bit of prize money. That looked glamour. And then I looked at your results. I've been travelling so much, and I looked at the day one results, and it looked pretty scary. What happened?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we sailed out of our skins at the Harkin Youth International Cup, and don't know if we were just a bit complacent or what it was, but we just had a super slow start to the regatta. Some things probably didn't go our way on day one, so we lost the first 3 races in a row. So we had to do some serious morale boosting, and then luckily finished the day off with 2 wins. And then, from then on, basically we found our mojo from Harkin, and the boys never looked back, just put in 100% and got the job done.
Yeah, so you, day 2, I think you won every race, didn't you?
Yeah, so we went undefeated on day 2, which was when we were racing some of the higher competitors. So it was super crucial that we had a great second day and made our quarterfinals probably an easier pick than if we had have not had such a good day.
Yeah, okay. So in your team, so as you said last year, you're on the team that won the Worlds, as was Harry Hall, I think. So the two of you backed up the World Champs. This time you're steering, and Harry moved from the bow to main sheet. Is that right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So Harry and I have been sailing together for probably the last 2.5 years now.
Yeah.
So we functioned pretty well together, and then just had Nick Rosenals come onto the bow and Louis Schofield trimming for us, which we formed in September. So I haven't been sailing together for the longest time, but the boys just put in 100% to the campaign, and everyone worked well together.
And what were the conditions like, bud?
We probably didn't really see anything over 12 knots for this whole regatta, so it was pretty light, pretty shifty, and lots of tide. So obviously here on the harbour down in Auckland, we're probably pushing 3-4 knots of tide at times. So in the light breeze, you could be leading a fairway around the top mark and then set into tide on your bow and just stop at the mark. So It did make it for really interesting racing, and it kept it super close.
Yeah. I'm guessing now that Team New Zealand have been watching closely. Pete Burling was out there looking at you. The boat did a sail past, and clearly the phone will be ringing hot from the America's Cup teams now, mate.
Yeah, we were pretty fizzed when they did a little fly. Everyone got super excited. Yeah, I guess a phone call hopefully will come in the near future, but until then, just gotta keep ticking off my goals.
That's it, mate. You're the best young match racer in the world, and you've proved it back to back. You know, like you've been able to show it. I did say you were going to do that a few years ago, I remember. So I had complete confidence in you. I'm so stoked to see you get the win, man. You deserve it, hey.
Thanks so much, and appreciate it for your ongoing support.
Yeah, no worries, bud. It's been a long relationship. It's been a good one. I know you're about to go to Prezzo, so I won't hold you up anymore. But when you get back to town, mate, just let me know, and we'll have a nice celebratory drink, hey? Oh, where'd you go? Hey?
Lost you for a second.
We just lost you. Yeah, mate. I was just saying, when you get back to town, let me know, and we'll have a bit of a celebration. I'm sure I'm going to bump into your mum or your old man in the next day or two, and they'll be just through the roof. No, it looks like we've lost you, bud. All right, well, we'll leave it in peace, but congratulations, James Hodgson and his crew, winning the Youth Match Racing World Champs. Couldn't be more ecstatic. There you go.
Stoked. Good on you, James. Well done, James's crew. What a fantastic effort that was.
Yep.
He speaks very well.
Yeah, he's good.
James.
Yeah, he's.
Did you put him onto Raleigh Sussex?
Well, as Jordan says, he is his protege, so he's teaching him not only how to sail and to do things, but he's teaching him how to speak.
What's going on here?
We're both overweight at the moment too.
He's not a small lad, is he?
No. We're both overweight. We've both got women harassing us at the moment. His mum's giving him grief, and my wife's giving me grief at the moment. All right. Well, that was good. That was a good story. But another close friend of ours just did. You boys want to put the boot in there, don't you?
No, sorry.
There's
so much to say, but I'm just not going to say anything.
I'm just glad it's not the other way. His mum's giving me grief, and my wife is giving him grief. Come on.
All right. Women's laser Radial world champs have been running one, and it was quite an amazing result. Actually, I will just mention that Jack Parkin from the USA was the runner-up in the World Championship finals. So just want to congratulate them. Didn't want to miss out on that. In the lasers, though, the last Worlds before the Olympics, Marit Baumeister just the racing. I was going to say she put on a show, but she didn't. Like, if you look at the results, so it was Marit Baumeister and Maxim Jonker from the Netherlands, both of them from the Netherlands, and then Line Flem Horst of Norway in third. So 42 points, 44 points, and 45 points. Then there was Anne-Marie.
On 57. Still very close, though.
Yeah, then 58, 60. It's all really close. The other thing to note is that the Dutch, Netherlands, had 4 boats in the top 10.
Amazing.
Yeah. Big.
What's going on?
Oh, they're obviously doing a lot of work. I did manage to give Anne-Marie a little bit of a call and just find out a few things and actually what was going on, so we could actually just hear and she could tell us. You want to have a listen?
Oh, yeah.
Nah, move on.
Okay.
No, I'm only joking. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so obviously with the Laser Radial Women's World Championships that were hosted in Melbourne this week, and one of our great favourites from the show was Anne-Marie Rindham, and I thought we'd reach out and have a bit of a chat to her. Hello, Anne-Marie. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. I'm just chilling after the World Championship, so it's nice.
Learning to surf.
Learning how to surf and kite.
Yeah.
Getting those new skills.
Yeah.
Very important for the brain to learn new skills.
There you go. How's it going?
It's going pretty well. The surf hasn't been the best today, but small waves are also, when it's more difficult to catch. I guess then when the waves are bigger, then it'll be easier.
Yeah,
hopefully.
well, unfortunately, when it
Yeah.
gets big, Noosa just gets so crowded. There's so many people go there, but it is a beautiful
Yeah.
part of the world, so I'm sure you're very happy.
I am. It's good. It's really good. Good place.
Cool. Well, let's talk about the Laser Worlds. Are you happy? You got 4th overall. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a mixed feeling, actually, because finishing 4th is obviously not the result I was aiming for. But at the same time, we have our main goal, that's the Olympics, and you know, that's what we are training for, and that's a big peak of this year. And yeah, but at the same, it is a world championship, and you want to do good. But the most important is just to go there and see how everybody else is doing, and just like keeping on the things that you can focus on, and get some knowledge in what to work on next. And
Well, if you look at the score
I mean,
sheet,
it was a hard.
Yep, go on.
Yeah.
Keep going.
It was a hard championship for me because, I mean, there was a lot of pressure on going into the Olympic trial as well, and then I got sick during the event, so
no.
so that was a bit of a knockdown, but yeah, it can happen anytime. It's a part of life, so
Yeah.
just have to push through it.
It looked like it was a really tough event. And just looking at the score sheet, so Mariette Baumeister won. She had 42 points, and Maxime was there on 44, and then Lim Flem-Host was on 45, and then you were on 57, then 58, then 60 behind you. So it was obviously very intense. When I look at your score sheet, you started off really well, first, third, second, and then you had a little bit of a mid-week slump. Is that because you were sick or different conditions, or what happened?
So the first 3 days we only did 3 races in 3 days. So obviously, not very much wind, and but then the next 3 days was kind of intense, having 3 races a day for 2 days in a row, and I at the same time got like a throat infection where I had to go to the doctor and get some antibiotics, and of course I didn't feel 100%, so my energy level was kind of falling down, and I could feel that on day 3 that it was just impossible for me to, even though I had a good start, and I just couldn't get the proper hiking that that I needed to stay in the top fleet with the other girls. The other girls are hiking really well, so you definitely have to be on top, otherwise it's impossible to manage to stay there. So
Okay, so it sounds like it's nothing but positive. Like you can take some pretty positive elements out of the racing. Second, it looks like the racing's incredibly intense. That's just an amazing scorecard looking through that. I guess the important thing though is you've qualified for the Olympics, and you feel if you're fit 100% well, you're pretty much spot on for pace. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, our Olympic trial is actually not over. We have one more regatta, so Palma would be the last one, and it's about collecting points. And Anna, who is the other girl who's also trying to get the spot, she's young and she's doing really well, but I mean, she finished 33 at this regatta, so it would be hard for her in Palma. So we'll see what happens, but the most important thing is to just keep working towards the big goal this year.
Hey, you were our special guest a few months ago on the show, and we really enjoyed listening to you and talking to you. And then last week we had Nikolai Sehested as our special guest on the program. Did you? You would have been mid-world.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, no, I didn't hear it. No, I was just all
world focused
in the
on
world, but
Yep.
That's exciting. I sailed with him when I was a kid, so that's funny that he's.
Yeah, well.
We follow the Sail GP the last 2 days, so
cool.
It's good that there is a Danish team.
Yeah, and he was so he said you were the superstar of Danish sailing, so he was very positive about you. You're the number one sailor in the country, sort of thing. He was really cool about the whole thing.
Yeah, he's a really good guy.
Yeah,
absolutely. And he's such a good sailor, and he chose a different direction, which is very interesting. Like not choosing the Olympics. I think it's kind of like the way you it's just the easiest way, I guess, to choose.
Yeah.
This is kind of like how you brought up in Denmark or in Danish sailing, that you choose one of the Olympic boat class and then you continue. But he just chose an untraditional way, which is I feel like it's very cool to do that, because it's not many Danish people have done it before. So really hats off for him.
Yeah, well, he's doing really well, and he's doing quite a range of boats, and he's made one hell of a name for himself, and as you are. So we're stoked to hear from him, stoked to see him doing in the Sail GP, and we're obviously really happy. A bit disappointed you got unwell, but it looks, if we can just go off your early form before you got unwell, like that was pretty phenomenal form. Obviously, Marit and Maxime both in superb form as well. Are they the main threats for the Olympics?
Yeah, I mean, they were doing a really good job. Like, they've been training in Melbourne for since Christmas. So yeah, they were really well prepared, and the Dutch team is just doing a good job, like training together, and it seems like that's what it takes. I mean, they had 4 girls in top 10, which is, I never think that happened before.
Yeah.
So impressive. They must have a really good program, and even if might decide to stop after the Olympics, then there is a new girl like Maxime, she could easily just take the new spot and go really well at the Paris Olympics.
Amazing. Just one last question though, like being unwell, you with your travelling, where are you going now? With all this coronavirus going on around the world, is that going to slow down any of your training, or you're just happy, you're just totally focused and you're going to your next regatta and that's it?
As it is right now, we're not changing any plans. But yeah, of course, we have it in the back of our minds that we have to see how it develops the next month. I think that would be very important for what's going to happen during the summer, actually.
Yeah.
So we don't really know what's happening. So, but right now, like, the program is just continuing. So next week we go to Palma for a training camp.
Right.
And then obviously the regatta and then preparation for the Olympics after that. So yeah, but
cool.
let's see. I don't really know that. I don't think anybody knows what's gonna happen. So we just have to wait and see. I heard that the first 5 people have it in Denmark now.
Oh no!
Coronavirus, so yeah.
Yeah, well, I literally have just landed back from Europe. I've been all around Europe in the last 2 weeks, so if anyone's going to get it, I'm the one. But so I wouldn't be too worried. But yeah, so why don't you just relax and enjoy? You're up at Noosa at the moment, which is on the Sunshine Coast in Australia, one of the most beautiful places in the world. About 30 kilometres from me.
Yeah.
So and my wife loves surfing as I do, so we'll sneak up and have a surf together.
Yeah, you should be welcome. I'm not very good at surfing yet, but I'm still learning. So,
well,
I hope at some time I will catch the good waves and yeah.
We'll cheer you on, as we will at the Olympics, Anne-Marie. We appreciate you taking time to chat to us and wishing you so much good luck. We'll be cheering for you.
No
Bar
worries.
Karate is behind you.
Thank you so much.
No worries, champ.
Well, she is a true bar Karatian, isn't she? She is one of us.
Fun.
Yep.
Have you mentioned to her about your wave, Jordan? That you caught the other day?
That was on a sister. Yeah,
no, she got it on Facebook.
Yeah, she probably has. We're mates on Facebook.
Published a novel.
Yeah. Jordan's
about every centimetre of the wave.
Such an idiot, aren't I? I tell you.
Just one comment. Marit Baumeister.
Yep.
What a name for yachting.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And it's from.
I wonder what her great grandfather and grandmother did.
Yeah.
The Baumeisters.
I did take a little bit of a look at this particular regatta, and my God, it was close. It was close the whole way through. So, I didn't know that she got ill halfway through the event. But, mate, What a great fleet. And as you said, the Dutch with 4 or 5 in the top 10. What an amazing effort.
Yeah, truly amazing. Truly amazing. Great result for the Dutch team. They really are starting to show some. They're probably, the Northern Europeans are the sailing nations of at the moment. They're the ones that are really the standout nations. So it is quite amazing how well they're doing. The Olympics. All right, well, let's move on, shall we? The Carribean 600. Yep. That was run and done over the last few days. Did you guys get a chance to have a look at it?
Yeah, run and one. Had a little look-ski around, and despite the initial, with the initial forecast and then thinking it was going to be a small boat race, it was actually quite the mix. We had the TP52 take it out.
The what?
TP52 being.
What's that? What's a TP52?
Well, it's quite a common boat that wins pretty much everything it goes in. And then the Volvo 70 being Wizard second, and then a JPK 1080 being third. So they had the full mix from all the 70 teams out on the course, which sounds, every time you read about it, just sounds like a fantastic race.
Yep.
Got all 11 islands, right? 11 mark roundings, essentially.
Yeah. 600 miles around 11 Caribbean islands. Outsider is the TP52 you're talking about. They had a great start. If you went and watched the start, which I did, they absolutely nailed the start. They did manage to make their winning move by skirting the lee that was around St Kitts Island. So the first night, there was a bit of light wind. Wizard, as you said, Bicey, first monohull over the line, and in the multis, the Mod 70s had this massive match race basically to the finish. So Power Play won by 4 minutes ahead of Argo. That was on over the line, and then Allegra was the winning multi-hull. So really light winds, and then it did build up as we sort of discussed. I did actually manage to get onto Will Oxley, who was navigator on Wizard, and missing out.
Nice.
He missed out on sailing with Matt's boat, Ichiban, because he's navigator on that. So he literally flew home to see his wife for her birthday. Then he's heading straight back to the Caribbean on Sunday.
Wow, that's commitment. He could have just left from Port Lincoln. Would have been a lot easier.
Yeah.
Well, there's a direct flight from Port Lincoln to the Caribbean.
Right.
If you're a tuna.
Yeah, if you're a tuna, that's right. Shall we have a listen to what Matt had to say?
Who? Will Oxley? Not Matt Allen.
Will Oxley.
The other Matt Allen.
Yeah, that's it. Will Oxley. All right, let's have a listen. All right, so with the Caribbean 600, we've got a chance to chat to Will Oxley, obviously a friend of our show. We chatted to him as part of the Sydney Hobart, and he was on the team navigator for Wizard, which was the line honours winner in the single-handed, the single hulls. I don't know, I just had a mental blank, but line honours winner in the monohulls. Thank you. There we go. Got it out. Mate, I just wanted to touch base and see how the racing went. Tell us what it was like.
Yeah. Hi, Jordan. So I imagine it was probably the slowest race on record. There was a big low pressure in the North Atlantic and totally disrupted the normally always reliable trade winds. Yeah. So there was just a big zone of nothing for the first 36 hours almost. But everyone got off the start okay. We'd run the routing beforehand, and there was an outsider, a really good German TP52 with a hotshot crew looked to be the threat. And when we ran the routing with the Ichiban Polar, just as something to get an example, they were going to beat us by 3 hours. So we set our expectations that not too high. And unfortunately, the routing said they would beat us to the first mark, which did prove to be true.
Yep. Yep.
So Wizard is not at her best in the very light air.
No.
And there are a couple of times where we positioned ourselves, ran out of wind, and everyone else went, okay, so what we do is we go around Wizard because there's obviously no wind there.
Yeah, right. What a nightmare.
Yeah, and then the race is all about the wind shadows, and they were particularly big with the light air, and so we got the first couple we probably could have done a little better, but then by the time we got to Guadalupe, we went for just take it on completely, and ran along the shore 500 metres off the shore, and managed to stay in breeze. And then once we got around, and first of all, there's a nice reach down to Guadalupe, so you do that quite quickly, and then another reach back north to the Barbuda marks. So each of those we were averaging 18 to 22 knots. So we managed to redeem ourselves and get line honours, and managed second overall to Outsider, which was very well sailed.
Exactly as your rating predicted, or your routings predicted.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
That's crazy. I was actually watching the race a bit. I saw the first night the people got stuck around Barbuda, and then again off St Kitts.
Yes.
Yeah, that big ridge that sort of just went through, and it looked like it was going to freshen throughout the whole race. So, yeah, it looked like it was going to be tough, but, yeah, interesting. Did you have a good time, though, mate?
Yeah, it's never a good time when you're totally parked. But and in fact, at one point we were sitting next to a boat called I Love Poland, which is and it was ahead of us, and it was the old Puma. So the two boats had been in the Volvo together, and as you know, they're both 1K boats, so they both go similar speeds, and we were in this same hole. They were 2 boat lengths from us, and then we just managed to wiggle out, and then in an hour we were 17 miles in front of them. In 2 hours we were 25 miles in front of them, and that was the last we saw of them. So that could have been us, I suspect.
That is crazy.
But the second half of the race was great fun. I mean, there's not much better than ripping with a J0 on the jib stick and a staysail and full main on a Volvo 70.
No.
They are amazing machines. So, and it's quite a bit more comfortable than the TP52, let me tell you.
Yeah, cool. Well, you've had quite the racing over the last few months. I guess you're never home. The other thing you were saying just before is you did a lead-up event, a multi-hull regatta as part of the lead-up, the St Martin's Heineken regatta. They had a specialised multi-hull regatta, and on a new boat that's coming to Australia. Is that right?
Yeah, so the boat itself is about 3 years, I think 3 years old, and had never been raced. And it's been up in Rhode Island, in Newport. And an Australian guy called Brett Trevelyan bought it, and he's mates with Simon Nern from the 18-foot skiff club, and they dragged together a bunch of skiff-type people to just go for a sail on this. And because I was heading to the Caribbean anyway, I think I was third choice off the ranks of navigators, but managed to get the gig. And unlike the 600, it blew 30 knots every day, and we had an absolute blast ripping around this thing on the track. And I'm nearly a convert, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I like to say, people go, have you done much multi-hull sailing? I say, not much. I've only done 3 events. A non-stop around the world, the Transpac, and now this. So I've done a few miles, but only 3 events. So.
Yeah, and this is the one that's going to convert you, mate. I guess sailing in the Caribbean will convert anybody in any way. But, so a Bernoulli 53, is that right?
Bernoulli's 53.
Bernoulli's.
So French designer who was involved with Oracle.
Yeah.
I think I'm right in saying designed the hulls, maybe.
I remember that name.
The harness.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, it's a very cool boat, and I think he's planning on doing the Voile de St Bart's, and then probably sailing it out to Australia. So hopefully we get to see it at Hamilton Island.
Yeah, that would be cool. Very cool. It sounds like you're having a good time, mate. I've got to be honest. You're getting to do all these great events, and you are a member of the Wizard team, which is the World Sailing Team of the Year. So you really are living the dream at the moment.
Yeah, well, I'm somewhat crazily. It takes somewhere between 48 and 60 hours to get back and forth from the Caribbean. I'm going back on Sunday for the Antigua Super Yacht Challenge and then the St. Bart's Bucket. So they're the next two events. So
cool.
Lots of flying. My carbon footprint's not very good at the moment, but it's important to try and get home regularly when you can.
Yeah, I hear you, mate. All right, well, we'll leave you in peace because I know you'll be tired because I literally have just got off a plane myself and I'm exhausted. So thanks for taking a few minutes to chat to us, mate, here on Baccarati. I'm excited for you.
No worries. So, and of course I did, even though I was on the other side of the world, I did watch the Tikal Classic closely. I was pleased to see that Ichiban managed to come away with the win. I got a bit confused there with the little Victorian boat showing up on the Yellowbick tracker as winning. But I understand that the tracker was on the wrong boat and those guys unfortunately ended up in a mussel farm or something. So there's a few stories there, I suspect.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that one. That's a good one. And actually, Ichiban just won the race week as well by half a point as well. So
yeah.
So it's an all-round good regatta for them as well.
Yeah, nice.
Cool.
All right.
Cheers, mate.
Okay, thanks.
All right, there you go.
There you go.
Hey?
Oh, always lovely to have Will Oxley on the show. He is a Baccaratian, 100%.
Yep, he's a good man. Sounds like a great race, and there's plenty more racing to come in the Caribbean over the next few weeks. So for those who are over there, make sure you enjoy it and listen in. We'll try and talk about it in the coming weeks. All happy?
Here.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I do want to move on and mention in New Zealand, BP, you'll love this, the Round North Island race in New Zealand. Have you seen this is going on? I thought I'd just bring it in because a few people probably wouldn't be aware. It's double-handed offshore race.
Yep.
4 legs. Auckland to Manganui, Maunganui to Wellington, Wellington, Napier, Napier, Auckland. They're in Wellington now, currently. I've sort of got the results up. It's a little bit confusing. So if you look at, say, Division 1, it seems to be on what they call PHFR. I don't know what that means. Whether it's
PHRF.
Well, it says PHFR on their score sheet.
Oh, does it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's and if you look at it,
performance handicap thing.
Yeah, it's a performance handicap thing. But if you look at Division 1,
performance handicap rating, fair, bro.
Yeah, bro. But this is where I'm confused. If you look at Division 1, Mr. Kite is leading Anarchy. But then if you go to the overall where everyone is together, you've got Clockwork first, Anarchy second, and Mr. Kite third. So I'm not sure how that could work out. But I just thought I'd raise that. But anyway, they're halfway through. It's double-handed racing. Clockwork is a Bakewell White 37. Anarchy's an extended Bakewell White, so it's about a 40 now. And Mr. Kite, I reckon that's the old Cape.
It is the old Cape 40.
40, yeah, Cape 40, the Canding Keel thing. I'm sure that's what that is, Mr. Kite.
No, it is. It is that old, but more to the point, I'm just loving the fact that it's starting to happen. The double-handed stuff is starting to happen. I'm looking forward.
It's cool. So I just thought I'd bring that to people's attention. You can follow it on Tracker. It's definitely happening right now. Another 2 legs to go. Good luck to our Kiwi cousins. Hey, bro. They're doing a great job. They love the sailing offshore. They are great sailors.
Hey, bro. Do you want the chip? I'm a bit parched.
Burst in your bubble. Actually, this double-handed race has been going for a long time.
Yeah.
Big tradition in New Zealand, and there's a lot of boats who have been around the NZ yachting scene for a long time who are competing as well. So it's sweet as.
Cool. Right, blokes, we've chewed up a heap of time, so we might skip a few things that we've got on our little categories.
Copy that.
Any secret pro news?
The only thing that's starting to pipe up is a few little rumours about the Olympics related to the coronavirus.
Yep.
We're going to need a bit more time. Dick Pound is due to say something.
Greatest name.
By the way, it's a fantastic name as well.
Dick Pound.
Yep.
So we can probably sit on that one till a bit more information comes out.
Sit on what?
Stop it.
Audio, fellas.
All right.
Move on.
So, no, nothing as such.
Under what beer are we drinking this week? I tried a Meantime London Pale Ale in London.
I did see this. How did you go?
She's not going to qualify for our Barcarati beer. She's good. It was good. I liked it, but it was not an easy, quick drinker.
I tell you what I had the other day. First time in a long time. Came off the water, esky, on the boat after the end of sailing. A VB.
Explains a lot.
I can top that. West End.
What do you have?
And just quickly, I know we're out of time, but Josh Alexander, sailing on the Naval Group,
he's a beauty.
He was down at the Largs Pier just prior to the Adelaide to Lincoln race, and he's sitting at the bar wondering what beer to drink, and he saw the West End draft. So he's like, never had one of these, but heard about Bicey talking about it on Barcarati. I'm having one. By the time I saw 4 days later, he was still burping.
Oh, dear. All right, lads. The only other thing I want to mention before we just do the sign-off is the TP52 start again on Monday, tomorrow. So they're in Cape Town. They got a couple of events in Cape Town, I think, from memory. So March 2nd to 6th in Cape Town, and then at the end of the month, the World Championships are in Cape Town, March 31st to April 4th. Then they go to Italy in Scalino in May, and then in June in Porto-Cervo, and then into Spain in Valencia, and then Puerto Portales.
In Palma de Mallorca, yeah.
Yep.
So they're going to some pretty horrible areas to start with. But once again, it's probably apart from probably the America's Cup and Sail GP, it'll be up there with the best calibre of yachties, the best calibre of teams. So,
absolutely. But I'll tell you what, though, Bicey, I'm looking forward to seeing some footage out of South Africa.
Well, a few days ago, everyone on social media was glad we're not sailing today. It's about 80 knots.
Yeah.
So hopefully the doctor's not fully cranking come this coming week.
Yeah, crazy. All right. Well, so just letting you know, people, be great viewing. As BP said, it's going to be some great footage coming out of Cape Town. It really does.
Just on the run sheet before you leave into your quiz question, T-shirt design challenge is still on. We've not forgotten about it. Move on.
Hey, you blokes, like I've told you, you may as well not even be in it. So you've been let off the hook again this week.
All right. If you want to reach out to us, Instagram or Facebook, just Barcarati, #Barcarati, Barcarati website, or email us at cheers@barcarati.com.
And we are getting so many emails. It's really hard to keep up.
Oh, we're loving it.
But what we are going to do, we'll be hosting that one little segment, email of the week. If we can plan our timing, as we might need another in-betweener actually coming up. But also, when you're on Facebook, or the podcast sites, whatever you follow, Apple or Spotify, please be sure to rate us and also leave your comments. That just helps bring us up the rankings. Yeah. And again, mention it to one of your mates this week.
Yeah. My mate Robbo sent a note in this week, and he's just gone, never in my life would I imagine listening to you talk for hours and hours and hours. I was going to enjoy it so much.
Love you, Robbo.
Everyone loves Robbo. He's a cracking dude. All right, the quiz question for last week was, which nation has the oldest flag in the world? You might have guessed, just given the way our guest responded to that, being, that's an easy question. Our mate Nikolai Sehested from Denmark. So the Danish flag is the oldest continuous flag in the world. It has been in use by an independent nation that's 800 years of age. So that's pretty impressive, 801 years. So the question this week, before we sign off, kids, how long were Japan and Montenegro at war with each other over the last century?
Okay, I'm going to give a little tip. I reckon if you add your age and Brett's age, you get pretty close.
Let's get stuff sound. All right.
Just having a look at the answer, trying to add it up. Hang on. Four takes.
Oh, yeah.
4 plus 7 plus 5 plus 0.
BP's not an engineer the way he's quick on that math. All right, so next week we got heaps, obviously. We had to skip a couple of things. I hope you enjoyed it. We tried something different this week, so let us know how you think it went.
Oh.
And we'll go from there, yeah. I'll speak to you guys over the next few days.
Yeah.
Later.